Have you ever actually taken a moment to evaluate your investing strategy? To ask yourself whether or not you're putting forth the right approach to investing to actually achieve your financial goals? Like, what do you actually want out of dividend investing, or investing as a whole for that matter? Now, personally, back when I first started my financial freedom journey, I was laser focused, myopically focused on passive income by way of dividend investing. And what hooked me the most may be the very same hook for you: passive income. I mean, there really is nothing like it. You invest into a company, and then from that investment, you get paid in the form of a dividend as a little thank you, if you will, for investing into that company. And then you can either reinvest that dividend to roll a much bigger dividend snowball, or you can reallocate that capital into an entirely different investment. Now, if you're either retired or in the form of semi or early retirement, you can just live off of dividends entirely. And that is really the dream for many of us, if not all of us. And in theory or thought here, it really doesn't get any better than that. But what I'm about to discuss with you in this video is meant to challenge you, and in some cases, actually help you realize much faster than I did the importance of your very own investor profile. Now, that term, investor profile, is really just defined as the full picture of who you are, where you're holding as an investor, your goals, and your investment timeline. All extremely important factors to understanding, or at least achieving, what you're actually after as an investor, of course, with or without dividends, to achieve financial freedom. And before you get started now investing, you need to become your own Picasso, so to speak, in painting at least a decent picture of your investor profile. Now, for those of you who may have jumped the gun to pull that buy trigger too quickly on whatever investment opportunities you thought would 5 or 10x, it isn't too late for you to actually just take a breather, stop investing, and take this step right now. But before I go any further, I just want to share what could actually happen if you never come around to knowing who you are as an investor. Now, this may upset some of you or alarm you, but you may likely experience much slower growth, or worse off, never even achieve your financial goals. But don't just take my word for it. Let's go ahead and talk it out a bit more with an example. We're going to go ahead and take a few ETFs, the first being every dividend investor's go-to ETF, SCHD, which is known for its reliability and long-term dividend sustainability, all thanks to the original goal of this fund, which was to track as closely as possible the total return of the Dow Jones US Dividend 100 Index. Now, this fund maintains a very juicy dividend yield, which is why most dividend investors just can't resist but investing into it, coming in here at almost 4% of a dividend yield at 3.79%. Now, that's all thanks to the holdings within this fund that the top 10 range from Pfizer to AbbVie, Cisco Systems, Bristol Myers, Coca-Cola, Texas Instruments. Then we got BlackRock, Chevron, Amgen, and Verizon. So all solid names. But click into the stock chart with me, where we're going to see that though it is currently in the red zone, trading for just $27 right now, over the last 5 years, SCHD performed quite well amidst all the volatility, up over 40%. And then on that max view, we're going to see a steady ascent with nearly 220% worth of appreciation. And if we're talking about actual returns, well, we're going to see a 12.87% annualized return rate, meaning if you went ahead in 2011, when the fund was first established, to invest $10,000 worth of a principal investment into SCHD, you'd now be sitting on $49,473.89, which is really not that bad, all things considered. Or is it? Say if you were in your 20s or 30s, I would argue it is that bad. Because if you were just a little bit more risky and decided to bet on, say, America, like every investor from Ray Dalio to Buffett and Munger say to do, and you chose to invest in just the S&P 500 itself since 2011, that same time frame, you'd actually have experienced 14.74% worth of annualized returns. That comes out to a $10,000 investment, literally now turning right into $61,464.67. But now, say if you were a little bit wiser, considering our ever-advancing technological future, and you decided that technology was a must in some way, shape, or form for your portfolio, so perhaps investing into a safe bet with Vanguard's technology fund, ticker symbol VGT, get this, be sitting on $117,765.46, which delivers through on over 20% worth of annualized returns. Now, as some of you just saw, it got better and better in terms of all of these returns. But now, some of you actually may be sitting out there saying, whoa, slow down, Ari. This is all about dividends and passive income. To which I'm saying, I hear you. I hear you. But let's go back to our original question, or rather, the very reason why you may have clicked on this video that sparked your curiosity, which is to answer this question of what do you want out of dividend investing? Is it in fact passive income right now that you're after, or is it financial freedom? Now, depending on your current needs, because really, some of you out there may actually need more money in your pocket right now that you need to be able to spend, so on and so forth, and all the more power to you, then SCHD just may be your best bet. But scaling a higher yielding dividend portfolio as a younger buck investor, I don't know. I mean, just for some of you younger ones out there, I just have to come out and say, what are you doing? Now, this whole investor profile idea comes into play because you also have to realize that your investment strategy today is not or should not be a binding strategy for you 10 to 20 years from now. As you grow and evolve as an investor, so too should your strategy, forever complementing your investor profile. They work in tandem. Just for a personal example, while many of you may be bashful with me getting all up in arms for me lowering my portfolio's dividend yield and scaling dividend growth stocks up right now with lower dividend yields, but ultimately higher dividend growth rates, you have to realize that the strategy is fitting to my profile. I'm 30 years old, which means I have another 30 years minimum to go before I even think about retirement. I can afford to take on more risk, and ultimately, I don't need to have more spending money in my pocket right now from dividends. Therefore, I'm using this time wisely as possible to take full advantage of the time that I actually have and the power of the market to drive my returns. And since getting real with myself as an investor, going from higher dividend yielding stocks down to dividend growth oriented stocks for the longer term, my portfolio has really just been soaring. I mean, returning over $40,000+ last year alone. Meanwhile, some of my dividend investing friends out there who are in the same boat as me, while they may be beating the S&P 500, they're only returning like 10 to 20,000. And if you're now the select few of risk-adverse investors out there saying, well, Ari, too much risk is, well, risky. I hear you. And this is why I have only taken on technology and growth opportunities with Vanguard's Tech ETF. Because after all, I too want to continue to minimize risk and just capitalize on the upside. But if you, for 1 second, do not think with AI advancing, heck, even quantum computing now taking the lead, and the alike aren't our entire future, you're in for a treat, as our dividend-paying companies are implementing the very technologies that I'm just investing into right now to begin with through this tech ETF. Do I advise this approach for every investor out there with a few years or handful of years to go before they retire? Absolutely not. But I do advise you to go ahead, take a look at your profile. And if you have 10, 20, 30 plus years to go, the time is now to know that profile well and invest accordingly, because we all should be answering that question of what we want out of dividend investing. And it's not about the highest dividend paying yield. It's about the highest possible total return that you can capitalize on to help your future self. However, I now want to know what you all think. Am I wrong in my rationale? Do you feel investors need to be focused more on their dividend profile than they are today? And finally, let me know what your investor profile actually is and how you're investing by dropping a comment down below. Be sure you're actually subscribed to the channel to join this journey. And of course, you can find more insights right here and actually catch the one dividend investing secret that took my portfolio to the next level. And I'll catch you all there.